Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. Well, not quite enough on that one, Frank.
Coming out of the rough, not surprising. Considerably short.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
He'll need to be strong with this. Brandt Snedeker needs this for a par. What a beautiful roll right there. Dead center. If he makes it, he wins the hole. And that gives him the hole.
Great start.
Settles in always with excellent posture over the ball. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Should be safely on deck.
Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in.
Rich, it's a tough second shot here at the second. Somehow you got to find a little flat piece on the green to land that second shot. As you and I both know, the severity of this green means anything long and you've almost got an impossible bunker shot or pitch. But somehow, on a flat spot and underneath the hole is the goal.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. And that's a birdie. This from 7 feet. Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
It is. The church pews that adorn the left side, they're no fun to be in, that's for sure, because somehow, invariably, you always seem to get behind one of those grass strips behind, and all you're left to do is punch out. Not just that, too. The amount of bunkers on that right side really narrowed that down. Now, this tee shot plays downhill, and then you've got to be ready for that uphill second shot. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. Frank, what's our player facing on this approach shot at the second hole?
You've got to pick one or two spots. That's the middle of the front section or just that very top if you want to try and get the ball towards a back hole location. Once again, Oakmont demands pinpoint precision.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Snedeker with a birdie attempt. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Good roll. Here now with the par 5 fourth at Oakmont, 609 yards in length. Good par 5. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. You wouldn't call that a miss hit, but it wasn't his best. That one just sort of drifted right and a long ways from the flagstick.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but that is well on the cards.
Good-looking shot right here. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. It's a good-looking putt right here. I might like it. Dude, that. What a putt. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, yes, that's an eagle. And now the fifth hole, short but challenging par 4, 382 yards, and it obviously rewards precision off the tee, heavily bunkered along the way. That's a bit offline in the rough. Second shot now on the way for Brandt Snedeker. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Snedeker's over the birdie putt. Good putt.
Frank, what's the pros' take on the first par 3 here at Oakmont, the 6th, at just under 200 yards?
Oh, it's a real beauty. Very narrow in the front. You see how it pinches in so close. It starts to widen up, but even to try and carry that bunker on the right side, there's very few players in the world that could hit it that high and manage to stop the ball in that corner. Once again, you're trying to thread it through that avenue at the front of this green. It's a tough par 3.
Don't want to miss it right here.
No.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. All right, Frank, take us down onto the 7th hole, par 4 at 434 yards.
Another one that's just another great driving hole. Bunkers on both sides of the fairway, so you can't really bail out either way. Used to be some trees in that down the right side. They've been removed, replaced now by fescue. So if you do miss those bunkers right or left, it's not exactly going to be the easiest chip out to the fairway. Another one that's a must-hit fairway. Reason why? It's a long par 4, and it's the only way you're going to hit this par 4 and 2.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Second shot here at the par 4 7th.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Grant hovering over a birdie putt. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par.
If he makes it, he wins the hole.
He wins the hole. He's made it. Frank, the par 3 8th, it will take a player's very best strike.
Yeah, it's not often you see the odd driver come out of the bag, but when a hole can be stretched out to close to 300 yards, then everybody in the field needs some heavy artillery. It's a big, long par 3. Green does feed a little bit to the left, but at that distance, no hole is easy.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. It's that sneaky distance.
Not too much and not too little. Perfectly played into the center of the cup. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Continues to roll it very well all day long.
Here we are at the 9th, par 4, 477 yards. Frank, this is a rugged hole.
It is. It used to be a par 5. Some say it should still be a par 5. Long, straight hole. It runs alongside the first hole there. Bunkers left and right. And, of course, if you find the rough, the remnants of what used to be a par 5 is that nice little cross bunker in the middle of the fairway, which forces you to lay up. After that good tee shot, Rich, it's time to take full advantage of it.
And this is one where he can really go after the whole location and maybe think about making birdie. Tug that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. This is a testing approach shot, isn't it, Frank, at the 9th?
It is, Rich. The green actually might look big, and the reason why it looks big is actually that's part of the practice putting green, which is on the back of that. And the reason why I know that is because I've actually had to putt in a championship while other people were warming up to go off later on. So big green it might look, it plays small. And it is anything other than flat.
About 80 yards left, Frank.
Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long.
It's amazing. It doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. So just a formality here. Well, no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going. Keeps the momentum on his side.
Excellent front side. Trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully. Hitting so many good shots. Giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going? Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
Looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Brandt for birdie. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
If he makes it, he wins the hole. And that gives him the hole. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, it's only 379 yards, a par 4. You thinking birdie here at the 11th?
You would think for that distance, no, but you'd take 4 here. It's a stringent tee shot. The fairway doesn't really look pleasing to the eye. It looks like it moves out to the left, but that's exactly where those bunkers are. So more often than not, we see players hitting out of the right rough. And back in 1994, this is where the playoff finished with Lauren Roberts and Ernie Els.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
It really did.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Birdie try up next.
Frank, what about this approach shot here at the 11th?
Not all short second shots are equal, and this is a great example here at 11. We have to be a little defensive. Another green that runs away from the player. So if you get a trifle aggressive here, chances are you're going to be chipping back. So just be a little careful.
Getting set now over the putt.
Good roll, good putt.
Brandt Snedeker has that unusual pop stroke, but it is very effective. Let's see how he does here with this putt. Has it. That's birdie.
Now at the par 5 12, 667 yards. Frank, you've played golf around the world at the very highest level. I've heard you say you think this is one of the hardest par 5s on the planet. Why?
The slope of the fairway, you don't get a flat lie anywhere along that, and the green slopes away from you. So really there's no easy out. This is the only par 5 I've ever seen where the best players in the world would take a 5. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, the handicap system in golf really is the great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no sport like it. I can't imagine going to Wimbledon and playing, sort of Djokovic or Federer or, playing NFL with Peyton Manning. But, the beauty of golf, we can go out in a golf course. We decide what our handicaps are on the first tee. We decide who's going to get strokes, and then off you go and play. And you play on a level playing field. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Second shot coming up here at the par 5.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways. Second shot.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. He'll need to be strong with this. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Not in the fairway, but not too bad, just in that first cut. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Wow, I thought he made that. He'd settle for par here. And he's putting for par now. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. He can win the hole on this putt. He wins the hole. He's made it. All right, Frank, at the par 3 13th at 183 yards, what do you see here?
Well, there's a lot of things to consider, but the general slope of this green really makes you either hit to a specific section on the green or just try and keep the ball below the hole. It's always easy to putt uphill on fast greens.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Yeah, about 150 yards left here, Frank.
And this one just seems to be moving a little left in the air.
Not too bad. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Could it be? Go ahead and do that. What a putt.
This is an awkward length.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back nine here for birdie. That's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that adorn both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Has only 90 yards here.
A little left of target.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Been pretty good all day from this distance. Just trying to take care of business. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. This will be a huge momentum swing. This one's for birdie. Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
For Snedeker, this is for par.
Well read.
It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. And that gives him the hole.
Frank, this is a point in the round where you really need to summon your best stuff. Par 3 of 231 yards. You know the pressure's building. We're at the 16th hole, and you have a long iron in hand. You can't flinch. You can't take it halfway back and go. This has to be the complete swing, and you have to really have the nerve on this shot.
Yeah, this shot has to be hitting right out of the button, that's for sure. One thing to consider, though, in the back of your mind, it's always better putting back uphill. Well, uphill is actually from the back of the screen. So you actually can be a little braver on 16 than what you might think standing on that tee, because a little long is better than a little short.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. If he makes it, he wins the hole. Grant takes the hole.
No doubt about that one. That was struck with confidence. Now on to the 17th hole, and Frank, in so many ways, this determined the outcome of the 2007 U.S. Open. Jim Furyk had his issues here. It's just 313 yards, but it can really play with a player's mind.
It's such an unusual par 4 for a U.S. Open, plus also where it comes in the round, because the options, and there's only really two, is like a 4 or 5 iron, you sneak it up the right side, or you take a driver directly at the green. You would think there's something in between, but really there isn't. And that's why, to your point, it stopped Jim Furyk, it stopped Tiger Woods, it allowed Cabrera to win. It also helped Ernie Els, who went with the driver option there back in 1994. So 17, it's short, it's tempting, it is at a U.S. Open, but it is still demanding.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
Doing whatever he wants with that golf ball. Moving it left, moving it right, hitting it straight when it's called for. He's doing it all.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here.
He wins the hole. In for birdie. This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship. Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Second shot now on the way for Brandt Snedeker. This is a good-looking shot. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Now the second shot here at the finishing hole at Oakmont in the U.S. Open Championship. And Frank, what is the key here?
That second shot, last part, plays a little bit uphill. Remember, there's a false front on this green, so this ball does not land at least 5 or 6 yards on the front of the screen. It's going to come back. And there's a little swale in the middle. This ball has to be judged correctly.
You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants to do over there.
If he makes it, he wins the hole.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Nudge this one home, finish it up.
Did the job right there.
Needs this for par. Cleans that up in the hole.
Well, that about wraps things up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Enjoyed it, Frank.
Certainly did, Rich. Once again, the golf course provided more than a stern test.
And for the entire team, I'm Rich Lerner. Until next time. EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today we're here at Paracel Storm, located in the South China Sea. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. Frank, looks like a bit of a war zone out there.
Interesting layout, Rich. 18 par 3s ahead of us, and, well, we're going to have to negotiate ourselves around there, hopefully with radio control, and we can fire when we're ready.
One of the most unusual courses in the world. Players hitting across islands, over buildings, and off an aircraft carrier. You couldn't ask for much more.
This is not for the faint of heart.
Challenging shot now from 180 yards.
Woof, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And it is not looking like a good lie. Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, it looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target.
He'll take par and move on. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Always love to hear the sound of the bottom of the cup. Now to the second hole, Frank, and just a look here. This green is clearly very heavily guarded.
Yeah, you notice that guard shack on the right there. Well, you better keep your head down, because we're not sure whether or not that guard shack is actually empty.
Be a dangerous shot here at the second.
And left, trees, a little bit of sand. There is the bridge as well.
Frank, what's ahead after missing the par 3 here?
Well, a tricky little shot coming up, but really this is a difficult par 3. So if you can get this up and down, it still won't be a lost cause.
This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. Kaymer has a beautiful rhythmic putting stroke. This is a birdie bid.
A little bit of guesstimation required here. We'll radio in the yardage. 216 yards to the middle of the green, and you've got to carry the destroyer. So this has to come down from quite a bit of height. Wind a little off the left.
Needless to say, tough defense setup around this green.
Yeah, well protected.
Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Not what they planned. Trip to the beach.
You should be able to splash that out, though. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. He'll need to be strong with this. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Oh boy, a drop shot here at the third. Now a 7-footer. And that's a bogey. Martin Kaymer to win the hole. Give the hole to Martin Kaymer. He's made it. Frank, here at the fourth, there's an awful lot going on.
Well, there certainly is. Solar panels, radar tower is up and ready to go, so it will confirm the landing on the other side. If it's successful, this rather long par 3 around the 230-yard mark, so this is going to be all carry. Got to land that ball on the green. It will not run through that beach area. And, of course, the trees and the palm trees all the way around. If this isn't flighted properly, it will not find the destination.
Seems like too much for just one man. This looks like a job for an entire flight crew, Frank.
Well, Rich, we should dig ourselves a trench and see what happens.
Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
If he makes it, he wins the hole.
Frank, he might like this one. Well, that just brings a smile to your face, puts a little pep in the step when you make them from downtown. Frank, you and I have called golf from around the world. In fact, we had our broadcast position in the Grand Canyon in a hot air balloon. Tell you what, I'm glad we didn't pick that spot to broadcast from. That would have been lights out early.
It would have, but I don't even know if our observation tower that was situated in is going to be safe. Already, the destroyers come and hit the land. And, of course, the fifth hole, this par 3, at just over 200 yards. That should be rather interesting, but hopefully we'll be safe. Let's batten down the hatches while we watch the tee shot. Second shot. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here.
And that gives him the hole. Count that. That's a birdie. Frank, here at the sixth, a really fascinating hole.
It is mid sort of 200 yards, shared greens, a bit like St. Andrews. But because you're hitting it over an island, you're almost going to have to parachute this tee shot in here and get it to land softly. There's a lot of things going on behind to the left and the side. It's like a little village that you're heading into. Hopefully you don't need a passport.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up. So this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Well, no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
If he makes it, he wins the hole.
He wins the hole. Frank, looking at this hole, the player is going to need a detailed map from high above, maybe from the bomber squadron flying overhead, just to get a sense of what they're trying to navigate.
You can always go up in one of those two lookout towers, just check the direction of the wind, see which way it's coming from, but not an overly long par 3.
Birdie try up next. From 135 yards out. Frank, over the course of the last 15 years or so, there have been a number of initiatives within the game of golf just to try to grow the sport.
Yeah, we've seen the PGA Junior League, which is a series of competitions, obviously for juniors to play. But the first tee really is worldwide now, just to try and introduce players from all over the world into the game of golf. They're introduced with club professionals. They learn skills that are essential really to play the game of golf. But in 2014 was a real step, what I think, in the right direction to showcase the junior talent around the world with the drive, chip and putt, where you actually get a chance to play the drive, chip and putt final at Augusta National, the home of the Masters.
Imagine young kids, boys and girls, 8 years old, 11 years old, being able to go home and tell their friends, tell their families, hey, I have something in common with Jack Nicklaus, with Arnold Palmer, with Phil Mickelson, with Tiger Woods. I won at Augusta National Golf Club. That is a solid par putt. He has this attempt for par. Partner, look at that. Left here at the 8th hole. You and I could shoot a little hoop. You want to play a little donkey?
Yeah, it's very observant of you, Rich. Also, the barracks just up ahead that protect the left side of this green. So there's a lot of visual intimidation on this par 3. Follow the sandy trail, and there's green at the end.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. And getting ready for the putt. Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on aisle 5.
These putts keep the round together. Frank, it's been a real battle out here so far on the front 9. Let's finish it off in style here.
There's a great view just slightly right of the 9th green. Look out. Now, that's full of people. You might get the appropriate applause, maybe even a standing ovation, at least a salute. 150 yards, approximately to that flag, but you have to be precise. And let's see how precise you can be.
Martin Kaymer, really smooth putting stroke. Won majors, won a Players with a hot putter. He's ready.
Well, that was a tricky one, but it's in.
Just 5 feet left. Well done. It's the start of the back nine mission. Rich Lerner for EA Sports, along with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us a little bit about the 10th.
A very civilized par 3, Rich. This is the more populated part of the island. Just over 150 yards, which makes it reachable for anybody. Just a short iron coming in. You're going to need a short iron too, because that flag today on the left, tucked behind those palm trees, well away from the beach.
Get down! Lay down! Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
He's putting for birdie now. It is in the hole for a birdie. Now at the 11th, and Frank, looking out over the expanse of this hole and really the entire golf course here at Paracel Storm, it's amazing because we're looking at a military playground, but at one time you have to remember this island was under siege.
Well, right now this is almost like an obstacle course from one of the shortest par 3s on this golf course. Seawall, once again protecting the beach side of the hole. Plenty of green there to the right side. That's a nice fat part of the green. Really, it shouldn't be a problem.
Good looking shot right here. Settles in over the putt. Frank, the 12th hole here at Paracel Storm, 241 yards, island green. I can't think of a harder par 3 in the world.
This hole, you really have to be wary on the direction of the wind, because if it's coming off the island, then it's going to blow it towards the water. It's going to make this tee shot so much more difficult.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Good chance at one. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
He can win the hole on this putt.
And that gives him the hole.
Really solid stroke.
Here we are now at the 13th, and Frank, this is a stout-looking hole.
Rich, it certainly is. No time to be superstitious on number 13. The trenches, they protect the back and the right of this green. Anything left of that, time to call in the Navy. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. In the thick stuff.
Thick, it's brutal out there.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Solid play, heart of the green. Has this to save par. And he makes it for par. Just a couple of feet. He's made it. Frank, now at the 14th, and really a simple objective here.
It looks like an old sand dune where they've just put a green on top. Rather benign. It might just sneak up on you, though. It really just looks like green and beaches with a few palm trees behind. But beware.
This is a good-looking shot. Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Rich, with a lie like that on the rough, you're going to get too much grass between club face and ball. You're going to have to adjust for that and at least take a club or two more.
This would give the hole to Martin Kaymer. Kaymer takes the hole. Frank, in any war zone, the element of surprise is always so critical, and we see that here at the 15th.
Yeah, this green is fortified by the jungle that surrounds it, and just a little feature that you often don't see on a golf course. It's not a bunker in the middle of that green, just a mini forest.
Just a little short shot here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. 115 yards. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Martin Kaymer to win this hole. Kaymer takes the hole. And just take a look out at the battleships burning, those solar panels, the bridges, the barracks. You know you're not at your dad's country club anymore. Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. Wasn't that hard a shot.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop. Second shot.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking might get it close. And just a great shot.
He wins the hole. No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Now to the 17th hole, and as we come to the end of this round, you salute the players because they're out there carrying not only their golf clubs, but the med kits and the meal packs, because this is no ordinary golf course. You have to be on alert, high guard all the time. Just a pure strike and a perfect result. He'll have a good look at birdie now. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
This one has a good line.
No, Rich, that was a huge putt. You don't expect to make them from that distance.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard. Frank, what a day of golf we saw out there today. The kind of